wants to support your cultural activities and share them with King County. Do you do creative work in the arts? Four Cultures now offering grants in 3 disciplines: arts, heritage, and historic preservation. For more information, go to fourculture.org.
Hey, how you doing? This is that guy Curtis from R&R Live Jam Sessions. I want y'all to tap in with me every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Standard Time right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.org. R&R Live Jam Sessions, baby. Holla.
Hi, I'm Paul Pearson of StarTime. Did you know that back in the 1930s, Rainier Avenue Radio operated out of a supply closet in the Columbia City Sea First Bank? Well, times have changed and so have we. Now you can hear all the great Rainier Avenue Radio shows on our mobile app for Android and iPhone. It's completely free on the Google Play Store and the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio app.
Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wipe things down, clean up your space. When you cough and sneeze, do responsibly. If you feel you're getting ill, isolate at home and chill. No, you're not alone. Please pick up your phone and call 206-477. King County 206-477. 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public community radio station will provide you with more information. Say Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
You're listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Welcome to Real Estate and Money, a half-hour program on RainierAvenueRadio.world designed to help you whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or renter in real estate. Your hosts are 2 local professionals who will escort you on your journey. Violeta Strash, who has years of media advertising and marketing experience and brings this extensive knowledge to John L. Scott Real Estate and all our clients. And Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Cardinal Financial with over 28 years of experience. And now here's Violeta and Tina.
Hello, everyone.
Go ahead, Tina.
Hi, how are you? Everyone, we just want to welcome you to the show. This is a beautiful day. We're in spring. We're no longer in winter. And we've got some hot topics for you today. We're going to be talking about security as a real estate agent. And also we're going to be talking about, what's that fee? Our outdoor space. Yes. Outdoor
landscaping, curb appeal with a special guest from Kent East Hill Nursery. So let me start it off with our market update. And again, the data that I present to you is information that's on the resale market as opposed to new construction. It's a better gauge of the market anyway. And so we're looking at March 1st to the yesterday, the 22nd. Last year in King County, we had 1,529 homes for sale. This year, only 801. And that's almost 47.5% down from last year. And sold, last year we had 977 versus 1,280 this year. So, we're seeing less inventory and whatever spending sells like that real quick, right? And as far as prices go, it's up 60.5% from last year. March to March, the last couple weeks here. And so that's the active list price of $1,258,000 versus $1,468,000 this year. And then for sold pricing, we have 863,000 versus this year at 1,076,000. So that's a 24.5% change right there. Pierce County, we're looking at the same time period, March 1st to the 22nd, 783 homes for sale versus 347 this year, 55.5% down. And selling these homes, 601 were sold versus 664 this year, 10.5% up. So again, you're seeing a lot of homes that are out there because of the multiple offers. Everybody wants to buy a home. The sales are way up compared to last year. And as far as our prices go, for active listings, $604,000 versus $727,000 this year. And that's 20.5% up year to year. And then as far as these homes being sold, the average price was $412,000 versus $504,000, 22.5%. And then real quick for Snohomish County, we had a 62.5% change downwards from 576 homes for sale versus 217 this year, and then selling 385 to 513. Again, you see the upswing there. And for pricing for Snohomish County, we have active listings at 726,000 this year. It's up 13.5% to 828,000, and sold prices 577 versus 696, 20.5% up. So there you have it for our market update.
Right. Supply and demand. It looks like the less supply we have, the more demand, the more the prices are going up. So supply and demand right now is driving this market. Right. Now, before we get started, we need to get some numbers out there, right? So in case you want to give us a call outside of the show, the number to call is 206-717-4490. Again, that's 206-717-4490 if you want to get a hold of us after the show. So we've got a guest today, and I'll let you go ahead and introduce your guest from the nursery today, V.
I know it's kind of hard to pronounce, so you threw it back to me.
Ryan.
Okay, Ryan Malmasari. Welcome.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. You pronounced it correct.
From Kent Eastville Nursery. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wanted to show Daniel. Can you show people the shots from the front of the nursery so they can get a look at what is out there? You know, I found this gem of a nursery in the wintertime, and really Indian, and I'll tell you more about that. But you know, you can find these guys at the corner of 116th and Southeast 240th Street in Kent. Not so hidden because it's right in the corner. It's a great looking place. They've got a lot of stuff for indoors as well for decorating ideas. You can go inside this home, but on the outside, we've got a lot of things out in the yard. So let's talk about, you know, sellers. You need to get your house ready for sale. What's the first thing people are going to do? They're going to search the internet for a home. They're going to drive by and see the home before they actually contact the agent and say, hey, I want to look inside the home. So you're going to want your house looking great from the street. So that curb appeal is huge. And Ryan, you can tell us about what we would see for a seller who wants to really sell their home, what they could do in the landscape leading up to the front door. And we'll start the pictures, Daniel, at this point. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my parents took over the nursery here in Kent in 2017, and we've just been trying to make it a very beautiful spot, a place that the community loves to enjoy, you know, just a friendly place for
Oh,
Yeah, well, there, you see on the screen, you see a plant, right? Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so this is actually Violeta's pot arrangement that she had purchased from us when she found us. And this next shot here is of some arrangements we had done up that can kind of just give way for folks that they can put things in their front patio or on their deck, just going to be at the front entrance of your home to make it look really pretty and nice. Because that curb appeal, like you guys were talking about, is definitely something that you want to be noticing when you're walking into your home. Because if you don't have that curb appeal, the folks are going to be like, oh, hold on, what's going on inside the house that they're hiding if it doesn't look good outside. So these shots here are kind of some trees that we care.
Yeah.
oops. See, frozen?
Yeah, so I actually have trees actually you can put out, not just flowers, but there's
They have large white flowers that are very fragrant as well too. So those plants are amazing if you want something for fragrance in the summertime. And the nice thing about them is they never lose their leaves, so you have curb appeal year round. So that's the great thing about those particular trees.
Magnolias. And I never knew that magnolias had a scent. So
Yes, so some of them do and some of them don't. So there are deciduous magnolias that don't have a scent, unfortunately. But the ones that we were just taking a look at in the picture definitely do have a fragrance. This next shot here is a picture of a flowering currant. We have a lot of folks that are looking for pollinator gardens now, attracting bees and hummingbirds and butterflies. It's definitely something that folks are looking for when they're buying a home. You know, what plants are in the landscape and how they're going to help the environment and rather than hinder. So they're looking for things that have those blooms and those flowers.
And the slide before that, Ryan, was the same variety in a bush style. So you've trained this particular bush, this currant, to be a tree, right?
Correct.
It's a little bit harder to maintain, but the tree is beautiful.
I would say, yeah, the tree is really beautiful. There's something that isn't going to be super hard to maintain, but plants do come in lots of different shapes and forms. So whether or not you're renting a home and you are planning on buying your first home, you can plant these plants in pots and move them onto your new home that you're purchasing. The other thing too is that planting these in the garden right by your front door and whatnot, some things can give off really nice fragrance. So when those buyers walk through the front door and they smell that fragrant bush walking by, that's a really good first impression for selling your home.
Okay, let's take a look at the shrubs. Right, Brian? Is that how we're...
Yes.
Okay, shrubs.
Yeah. So this one here is actually the same thing, flowering currant. And yeah, so these ones here are going to be more of decorative type shrubs and trees that you can plant in your yard that will be just looking really nice year round. So you don't have to worry about needles dropping or foliage falling off. These things are going to look nice all year round. So you don't ever have to worry about it looking sad at one portion of the year or another. So this one here is a Spanish fir, and it has really beautiful yellow needles to them. It's a great plant. A lot of people are using it here at the nursery. This next shot here we have are a couple monkey puzzle trees. I kind of find these as more of folks are getting them as an intrepid gardener, more of an exotic outdoor plant. You'll want to plant these in pots and keep them up near your front porch, or you can even plant them out in your yard. But if you plant them in your yard, just know that they do get pretty large. So this would be like a homeowner that has a bigger yard to plant these in for the monkey puzzle trees.
And those ones on the left, they're really prickly, so be careful.
Yes, yeah, you don't want to touch those.
It was really sharp.
Yeah. Next shot here is lavender. So this is another good one for pollinator-friendly plants. These particular lavender here are a perennial, so they come back year after year. And for folks who have like fruit trees or berries in their yard, this is a great plant to have just because it brings the bees nearby and helps with the pollination. But they're just starting to burst into color, and they'll give you color throughout the entire summer. So doing these in pots is also another idea as well. And it's just a great option for folks that want some color.
Oh.
Right.
And then
So don't forget about your veggies, right? These
yes,
vegetable
you don't want to
starters.
forget about veggies and whatnot. All of our veggies and herbs are great options to do your own edible gardening at home, so you don't have to go to the store as much, and actually where your plants are coming from.
Nice.
Oh,
That's nice. So all these plants you basically can plant by yourself. You don't need to go out and get a landscaping company or anything dramatic, correct?
Nope. These are all very simple to plant. You can basically just come to our nursery. We'll help you find what you need, and you just want to make sure you're digging the correct size hole, getting the correct soil, and all the fertilizer, which we can help you with. And any garden center would be more than happy to help with those types of things. But you don't need to go out and have like a professional landscaper come out and do these for you.
unless you ask Ryan real nicely, he might do it. But he'll at least point you in the right direction, right?
Yeah,
They
but
kind of cut out there. You guys still there?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did you ask
So
me a
Ryan,
question?
yeah, Ryan, if I wanted to buy some shrubs or some trees that I can't get in my car, do you offer help in people hauling their the newly purchased plants to their house?
Yes. So a lot of people purchase large trees and shrubs, and they aren't able to bring them to their home and in their smaller car that they have. And it's definitely an issue because people are remodeling their yards and stuff in the with COVID. And we do offer a delivery service, here in the general Pacific Northwest area. So yeah, that's a definite option.
That's great. That's great.
There's a lot of beautiful plants for your landscape or for your container gardens, like I had to do for my apartment, my interim apartment right now. And it was to my dismay, there wasn't a lot of options, but I ran across East Hill Nursery, and Cheryl, the person who helped me that day, was fabulous. And as you saw in the beginning, my container looked great. So 50 years in the business, right, Ryan? The family's been at it for 50 years in the area.
So yeah, the nursery's been here since 1986. My dad's kind of been managing the nursery for a little while, but we were finally able to take it over in 2017. And here we are now. It's just been kind of thrown into the whirl of things with COVID and whatnot, but we're happy where we are, and we're grateful that we get to deal with a lot of happy customers every day. So,
well, plants are people too. So in case you haven't shut in with COVID, you can talk to your plants. Yes, they are. I think I talk to my plants quite often.
Yes, and I've seen studies that it actually helps. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us real quick, Ryan, what are the hours of operation?
We're here daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week. We also have social media pages that you can follow us on, as well as a website where we have lots of information on there too. But yeah, we're here to help if you guys need anything.
Yes. Well, thank you. Next time we'll have to go down there and just film live, because it just gets the whole atmosphere. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, Daniel, let's take a look at our break, our new spot.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violeta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Cardinal Financial. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Great. Thank you. So just coming on another topic, you've been noticing the news, and we've been having some very dramatic, violent incidences. There is a lot of hate crimes going on against Asians. And, there was just a shooting yesterday here in Colorado, a shooting of 10 people. and one of those people were a police officer. So we're in very violent times, with the pandemic and people just kind of losing their mind. It is very, very smart of us to be aware of our surroundings. What we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about some tips for realtors and even mortgage loan officers. With the jobs that we're in, we put ourselves at risk. And a lot of people are very aware of the risk, and some people have just kind of forgot about the risk. And so we need to be reminded. So when we go out to houses, when we talk to clients we don't know, when we're out in the public, putting ourselves in very vulnerable situations, your security awareness has got to be at its tip top, at its most. So what we're going to go through right now are just 7 tips. If you're a realtor or if you're a mortgage loan officer that goes out and talks to people, some tips on how to keep yourself safe in this environment. First and foremost, always listen to your gut. Am I right, V?
Yes.
Always listen to your gut. If you get a client and they just sound just really frisky or just really odd, there's something off about them, go with your instincts and keep asking questions until either they pop or you get a certification that you're okay. If you feel like somebody's asking you something inappropriate, they're trying to meet you after hours. They want to meet you first after hours in a bar. They want to meet you alone. They want to know who's coming with you, that sort of thing. If anything is slightly off, make sure that you pull back and you ask a series of questions before you proceed.
I have a story real quick on this item. I got an address to go see a new client, and I was at the end of this really long, dark driveway, and I thought, I don't want to go down that road. What's at the other end of that long driveway? It's just a dirt road, kind of. Yeah. And so I called the client and said, hey, can we meet? I'm kind of lost. I don't know this area really well. Can we meet at a Starbucks instead and do that? Because I just don't know where I'm going. And he agreed. So, yeah, my gut feeling was do not go down that road. And so listen to your gut. And
I have a funny story. I had, I worked in a real estate office, and I see all the clients that would come in and do a loan with me, and they'd be handed off to a realtor. I saw a guy on his motorcycle beat his puppy on a motorcycle. I saw him out the window. He was beating the puppy that was tied to a car, dressed just like him in an Elvis outfit, and he was beating the puppy. And sure enough, he had a police record for domestic violence. He was in prison for 10 years, and he wanted to take my friend out into the open range or whatever it was to look at homes. And I said, nope. So that's a gut feeling. So if you see something odd, like somebody beating their puppy, stay away, okay? Always stay alert and make sure that the clients walk into each room before you. So a lot of times you get realtors who are attacked after they walk into a room. My house is vacant. And the clients know, they know it's vacant. And you even tell them it's going to be vacant. So nobody's there. You put yourself in a vulnerable situation. They get you down the stairs first. They get you into a room first, and they do something. So you make sure that you walk in front of that, or they walk in front of you when you walk into rooms. Make sure you know all the exits. Make sure you go during the day. Don't be going late in the evening or early in the morning. You make sure you go at the best time, not just when the client's free. The client says, I only work until 6 and it's after dark and all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you go at a time where there are a lot of people around. You can actually call for help. Surprisingly enough, another thing is actually to carry a weapon. And there are a lot of agents out there actually do carry weapons. And I've got this broken down, the different type of weapons that realtors carry. We've got pepper spray. We've got firearms. We've got pocket knife. We've got a taser, a battery-operated noisemaker. And then we have another category they prefer not to say. But 18% of all realtors' choices for weapons is pepper spray.
Yes.
Firearms is a close second at 14%. So a lot of my real estate friends, we actually go shooting, and we have guns. And a lot of them are women. And there have been enough situations where it warrants women wanting to have guns. So it says here that you want to check the legality of guns in your section of the United States. And take some classes. We offer classes here through our real estate associations on shooting, that sort of thing. So you want to make sure you've got the gun laws on your side where you're at. However, pepper spray is legal in all 50 states. So bare minimum, if you're afraid to carry a gun or it's just not your style, pepper spray is a good weapon that'll stop somebody in their tracks. And that is 18% of those who choose to carry. Also, you want to make sure that if there are any classes available for self-defense, that's another thing. Train yourself in self-defense, just basic self-defense. I'm not saying go out there and get a 3-degree black belt in Taekwondo or something like that. But at the very minimum, you should know some minimum standards of self-defense because you never know when you're going to get attacked or approached or what have you. Another thing you want to do is number 4 is tell your coworkers and family where you are at all times. So if you're going out on a listing, if you're showing somebody some homes, you make sure somebody else has that itinerary. And you make sure the client knows somebody else has that itinerary. And you tell them, yes, my system is tracking me, blah, blah, blah. You know, we've got these 5 houses, these are the addresses, and our my assistant is out in front of us making sure that we stay on target. That way they know somebody else is watching your whereabouts. Okay? And make sure it's not just fake. Make sure people actually do know where you are at all times. Number 5, use technology and tools to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your safety. So if you have a tracking device on your phone, put it on. Put your locations on. A lot of people say, I don't want anybody to know where I'm at. Well, that's a double-edged sword. If you're out there as a real estate agent, you put yourself at risk. Put your location on. So if anything should happen, even if it's a flat tire, even if it's something you're caught in the snow, put your locations on because you are most likely going to places that people cannot find you at more than any other profession. Okay. So make sure you've got something on. Make sure that there's a contact. You have an app. Like on your iPhone or what have you, that tracks you. And if there is a problem, you can hit a button and it'll call you. So I've got a smartwatch, and I just have to click it 2 or 3 times, and it'll chime in 911. It'll contact 911. So realtors, mortgage loan officers, if you're going out and meeting your clients and you don't know them from Adam and you can't meet them in a Starbucks, click, get something where you click twice and the police are there. Okay. So do that. Also educate yourself in training and self-defense. So you always want to train constantly on security and self-awareness of where you are and that sort of thing. If you can take a self-defense class, like I said earlier, take that. So just create a safety plan and get your office involved. So make sure it's not just you, make sure everybody in your office is involved. I remember one time, and this is the last thing I'll say about this. I remember when I was in Tacoma, Washington, we had some clients, some freakish client. We had 2 of them, and they were like in prison, calling from prison, and they were having realtors go out and find these multi-million-dollar homes, and they were just getting off on people running around. They were looking through the pictures and just calling all the pretty realtors and trying to meet them at strange locations. These people had track records of criminal misbehavior. So make sure your whole office is involved. When a lead calls in, make sure that lead is really tracked. You get all the information possible up front. Don't just say, there's a guy named Jim who wants to look at this multi-million-dollar home. Here's his number, meet him in an hour. You make sure your whole office isn't sending you somewhere. Sometimes there's a false impression that, well, if a lead comes from my office and they've been vetted and they've been verified. No, they have not. So there's a safety issue there that you think, oh, if Tina gives me a lead, this person may be perfect. Well, if I'm on the security side and I'm watching for people who are wacko, yes, I'll give you a lead knowing that it's safe. So the more people you have that you're working with, the more partners that you're working with that are secure of all the, are aware of all the security procedures you should undertake, your chances of you being safer is going to highly increase. Okay, so make sure everybody in your office is also involved. So those are just a few tips. Maybe later on we'll talk about, Asian hate crimes and where you're living and the security that you have to go through if you feel like you may be vulnerable to any type of victimization. So that will be at a later show. But hopefully, if you have any questions on this, give me a call, 253-332-5986. So that's all we have. Okay.
All right. Well, let me quickly go through our promos. Rainier Avenue Radio celebration of shows for Women's History Month and a double header of high school football Friday night from Memorial Stadium with Ingram at Lincoln at 5 p.m., followed by Garfield at Ballard at 8 p.m. And then I want to just make sure you stay tuned for R&R live jam session following our show. Next week, we'll be talking with an appraiser and getting your tax information in order by Tina Lombard. So thank you very much.
Yes. So we'll see you next time. You guys stay safe. Stay safe.
All right. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Real Estate and Money with your hosts, Violeta, Strash, and Tina Lombard. For more information, call 206-717-4490. That's 206-717-4490. Go to the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website to find the real estate and money schedule, or tune into our live show every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. We will help you find your dream home.